He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about
women, by the way, women, not girls, by the way. He has so much sympathy. So much sympathy for these girls, for these 15-year-old women. So much sympathy that he was doing it in his personal life to just be able to better sympathize.
About this.
Johnson made this stunning comment in the halls of Congress on Friday after being pressed by CNN's Manu Raji about Trump routinely calling the Epstein files, the Epstein files controversy, a Democrat-invented hoax. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But apparently Marjorie Taylor Greene had some choice comments to make that I really wanted to watch. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene is a weird one where she's not really a grifter. She just believes all this crazy shit. But she's also like a Trump loyalist.
Get a little pushback from the administration for getting involved in this?
Oh, I got a lot of pushback. I got phone call after phone call last night. You know, they didn't want me to sign the discharge petition. They want to focus on the oversight investigation. They hate Thomas Massie more than they can hate any Democrat, which makes no sense to me. And they don't want to work with Democrats at all.
Hi again, everybody. Yes.
Reno, thank you for the 8 months.
It's that point in the Trump administration where we lead with Marge. It's 5 o'clock in New York.
Hey, don't call her Marge,
White House,
dude.
Your panic is showing. Yesterday, Marjorie Taylor Greene, typically a stalwart Donald Trump ally, called out the Trump administration for attacking her over her support for what she just said there, the discharge petition in the House, an effort put forward by Democrat Ro Khanna and Republican Thomas Massie, who she also mentioned, that would force a vote on releasing the full Epstein files. It's just transparency, basically. Apparently, the White House is privately trying to tamp down any support for transparency around the Epstein files, even though that is what an overwhelming majority of Americans, including MAGA voters, want. Publicly, we're hearing Trump's newest tactic to try to make this issue go away, calling the whole thing a, quote, hoax, to watch the survivors and their families of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes say this.
We are tired of looking at the news and seeing Jeffrey Epstein's name and saying that this is a hoax. We are tired of it. We are done. We're not going to be silenced.
Mr. President Donald J. Trump, I am a registered Republican, not that that matters because this is not political. However, I cordially invite you to the Capitol to meet me in person so you can understand this is not a hoax. We are real human beings. This is real trauma.
This is the leader of our nation. This was no small thing. It wasn't irrelevant. It's not a hoax. There's testimony after testimony. Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted. To hear the leader of their nation say things like that for us, it's gut-wrenching.
Those who have already been through so much trauma yesterday said that if no one else will, they'll name names. The government refuses to do that. Congressman Massie saying this, quote, survivors at our press conference announced that they are privately compiling their own Epstein list. They would be sued into homelessness for naming names, but Marjorie Taylor Greene and I are willing to name names in the House of Representatives under the constitutional speech or debate immunity. What a moment on the House floor that would be. I'd like to see that. As for Republicans signing on to Massie's petition, Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of 3 Republican women backing the effort. She, along with super Trump allies Lauren Boebert and...
This is what I mean, Chad, when I say that she's not a grifter. because the rest of the party fell in line immediately and said, "Oh, Epstein, what? Who even is APAC? What is? How do you? I don't even know how to say that. Epstein. I don't even know. I've never seen that name before. I just don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry."
Nancy Mace, who we saw leaving a meeting with Epstein survivors on Tuesday in tears, it looked like, are forming the GOP resistance from within. From reporting in the New York Times, quote, the gender divide within the House GOP on the Epstein case.
Thank you for the gift sub. Roses, thank you for the 23 months. Everyone's record, thank you for the 3 months. Also,
23 months DNML.
It's a good opportunity to say thank you. K DeGrox, thank you so much for the 26 months. Reina, thank you for the 8 months. Reza, thank you for the gift sub. Doctor, thank you for the 4. J-Bo, thank you for the 2. C, thank you for the 6 months. Birkins, thank you for the 19. Razio Prime, thank you for the 25. Tom, thank you for the gift sub. Diner Special, thank you for the 4 years. Holy shit. Steel Lung, thank you for the 48 as well. Thank you. Fresh Bison, thank you for the tier 1. House of Rose, thank you for the tier 1. Thanks, guys. Okay. I wanted to see, sorry, I saw Cuomo talk, not sexual predator going to lose mayoral race Cuomo, but this one.
There's another one that I wanted to leave alone, but you know what? My producer was right. It's just too sexy. Listen to what the speaker just said about the president of these United States.
He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms.
Did he just say the president's an FBI snitch? Pete?
Pretty much. Chris, the president is a
Hold on,
chameleon.
Pete, did you hear what I just said? Did you just hear that the president was a CI for the FBI? You know, talk about deep state. Pete, did I just hear what I thought I heard?
Guys, I'm going to drain the swamp from within the swamp. I am the swamp monster, but don't worry, I'm going to drain the swamp.
That's the first time I've seen or heard it in its entirety, and
Only time this man has ever been funny. Okay, Chris Cuomo was absolutely killing it when he was talking about freedophobia. Now, I don't know that he was intentionally trying to be funny, but that was by far one of the funniest things I've seen.
You want to say, well, if that's the case, Mr. Speaker and Mr. President, why didn't you just say this from the very beginning? But you just touched on it, Chris. The deep state. Let's play along. Let's say it's true. Would President Trump want to say that he was working along with the quote unquote deep state? That in and of itself could be damaging to his political reputation. So I'm curious to see where this goes.
I think this is the best strategy they have for convincing the base that they're good, that Trump is innocent. I think this is actually the thing that might work with their base the most. Alrie, thank you for the 90 months. Anon, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thanks.
As Jesus said, snitches get stitches.
I don't think Jesus said that.
Jesus
Look, I mean,
he did turn over some tables, Chris. Now that he did do.
He did. He let the money changers have it. He let the money changers have it. You know,
he did.
Go ahead, Nina. Let me tell you what matters about this.
I mean, the president is a chameleon. This is just, he is some kind of special and the world is not ready. Now I'm going to put that aside. If the president sincerely believes what Speaker Johnson just said, then why was he allowing planes to fly overhead while the survivors were telling their stories? Why doesn't the president just simply say to those women who were young girls at the time that I feel your pain? You know, take a page out of President Bill Clinton's book. And you know what? We're not going to stand for this and let the chips fall where they may legally. I get we got to redact and protect some people because not everybody who was affiliated with Epstein, we got to lead. Not everybody that was affiliated with him knew necessarily the vile nature of him, but far too many people did. And the president can come out and say that we're not going to protect these powerful people. I'm standing with you. I see you. I hear you. Yeah. And I'm with you. But now to say, Speaker Johnson is saying that the president is with these women. The president has not said that once, Chris or Pete, as far as I know.
No, Pete. I mean, here's why Epstein won't go away. Okay, it's not because of the truth. It's because of the cell. And you made it a boogeyman. You made it a function of bringing down the rich and powerful, who it turns out don't just have more money, but they are into eating babies, or or whatever stupid mythologies were sold at the time. And you said you'd be transparent. And sure, you can say, oh, if the women have names, why didn't they come out before? I'm not mad at them. There's no responsibility on them. There's a responsibility on the government. And you campaigned on transparency, and you consistently screw us about it. The UAPs, Kennedy, Dr. King, and now this. Why don't they just put out whatever they have? Be careful. Thomas Massey saying John Paulson is one of them. I can't believe he hasn't sued him yet. But do you think it doesn't go away until they give more stuff away?
This could dog us as long as the moon landing has dogged us, Chris. I think no matter what comes out, there will be segments of the Republican side and segments of the Democratic.
Sometimes when I watch like anything that remotely resembles mainstream media, I just get so like I feel like these people are speaking a different language.
Side that
it's gonna dog us as hard as the moon landing.
Are unsatisfied and think something is being hidden. I will tell you, I have never been a fan of this. I want justice for those survivors, but the whole Epstein story itself is infuriating to me because there are people who believe that government is only competent when it comes to conspiracies, that somehow they can execute these extravagant conspiracies without leaks, without anybody knowing what's going on, but they somehow can't run Obamacare or Social Security effectively and efficiently. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, we got to be very careful about a talk.
Dude, wait, what is this? What is this Eric Adams tweet? Did you guys see this? Corporate needs you to find the difference between this picture and this picture. And it's a photo of a snake and it's a photo of Andrew Cuomo. And the meme is, they're both Andrew Cuomo. And Eric Adams tweeted it out and said, and a liar. You miscalculated. I hate Cuomo more than I love corruption. Eric Adams to Trump. Oh no. Dude, not Trump trying to like get into the race and like sway things again as hard as he can against Zohran Mamdani. And he can't even get these people to get along for 2 fucking seconds. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold. Also, by the way, the reason Zohran Mamdani is going to win is because of shit like this. Besides having good policies, because that's required. I'm once again asking you to stop sending us money, but we do need your time.
Well, folks, you've done it again. We can't take any more of your money. Truly, you need to stop. Thanks to you, we've raised the maximum amount of money we can spend in this race, $8 million. And you've done it with more than 2 months to go until the election. So that means we got it in the bag, right? Wrong. You think Bill Ackman's gonna sit back and let us walk into City Hall? No! He's gonna write a very long tweet and then cut an even bigger check to one of our opponents. So get ready to see a lot more scary videos of this face on your TV. But just like we did in June, this movement can overcome their money in November. So we are once again asking, not for your dollars, but your time. Sign up to Canvas or Phone Bank at ZahranforNYC.com/events. Make it a weekly shift. And above all, do not send us any more money.
I love you, Mamdani. MashaAllah. I like how people see this guy and they're like, they immediately start being Islamophobic, but then they see this guy and they think nothing is wrong.
In the world. That's why we have to fire people at CDC. They did not do their job. This was their job to keep us healthy.
Thank you,
And
Mr.
I need to fire some of those people to make sure this doesn't happen again. We are the sickest country in the world.
Dude. Fun fact, this was his look before he discovered men's spas about 5 years ago. He really went from like uncooked turkey to overcooked turkey. He looks swollen, dude. My favorite part is, I guess because he's not doing heroin anymore or whatever the fuck he said made him more cognizant. We get a lot of moments like this.
Got a few doctors who agree with you, and I'm giving you the
Not a
name.
few doctors. What you're talking about is there's a big difference, Senator, between established science and the scientific establishment, which has been co-opted by the pharmaceutical
Oh, hold on. So
industry.
you're telling the American people that the American Medical Association, representing hundreds of thousands of people, have been co-opted and that they should not trust their doctors.
And I'm
the
telling
American
you,
Academy of Pediatrics, the American, and by the way, just for the record, every single Republican, I don't mean to be political here, Mr. Chairman, has received PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. Are they all corrupt as well?
And I'm telling you, the American Heart Association has been co-opted by the food
Everybody but you, Senator. But you know what? When you ran for president, you know, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe you'll agree with me on that. Okay, you were already president, you had a billionaire behind it. You received $300,000 from people, not from the industry, people in it, as I did, from individuals. You corrupt. President Trump got $3 million. Every Republican got corporate PAC money for the pharmaceutical industry. Democrats as well. Everybody is corrupt, but you? Is that what we're looking at? I don't think so. And I think the issue now...
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't even know what IPAC, APAC is. Oh my God, dude.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The issue is every time anyone
Are you saying the pharmaceutical industry was supporting my presidential campaign?
I'm saying,
I don't think so.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the pharmaceutical industry is a greedy institution which is charging us the highest prices in the world. They are pervasive. But to suggest that every institution, the AMA, the pediatrics people, is corrupt because they disagree with you is an insult to the American people.
Listen, people disagree with me all the time. I have arguments in my agency, heated arguments every day with Jay Bhattacharya, with Marty McCary, with Dr. Oz.
You have given the names of a few people. I have given you the names of organizations representing hundreds of thousands of doctors and scientists. I yield, Mr. President.
Senator Tiller.
Wormy. What I don't understand is how all of these Republicans deal with the cognitive dissonance of like being a Trumper and being like a MAGA fuck and then just ignoring all of the not incompetence but corruption. I just I just don't. Anyways, back to the Eric Adams Trump story.
Today, multiple outlets are reporting that Donald Trump is attempting to tip the scales of New York City's mayoral election by offering some of the candidates jobs in the administration in order to help Andrew Cuomo defeat Zohran Mamdani. Ever since the 33-year-old Mamdani won the Democratic primary in June, the Fox News viewer, who is our president, has been taking a special interest in the New York City race.
If a communist gets elected to run New York, it can never be the same, but we have tremendous power at the White House to run places when we have to. You have a lot of crooked things going on in New York. We're going to straighten out New York. Maybe we're going to have to straighten it out from Washington.
Now, the New York Times is reporting that advisors of Trump are trying to induce the current incumbent mayor, Eric Adams, to leave the race by dangling an administration job for him. Quote, the talks have also involved finding a possible place in the administration for the Republican candidate, Curtis Sliwa. Citing 3 people with knowledge of the discussions, the Times reports the goal would be to give former Governor Andrew Cuomo a better chance of defeating Mamdani in November's general election. Political reports Adams.
I know that it's just like expected at this point. Like the corruption is just completely expected. But man, I gotta say, I'm not really a big fan of the whole how do I say this? Power creep? For the gamers, for the non-gamers, I don't know how else to explain it. The power creep of the meme, or like of the news cycle, where like everything is just so insane and so ridiculous that none of it has any weight anymore is insane. Like it used to be the case that even one of these things, go back like a decade or 2 decades, and one of these things would destroy someone's political career forever. And now it's every kid is so fucking loaded. Every single politician has like 1,700 different scandals that none of them matter. I miss when shit like this was actually a scandal, not just part of the daily news.
Has been offered a position at the Department of Housing and Urban Development, according to a person with direct knowledge of the offer. And that the mayor met with the president's team during his visit this Monday, to Florida. A spokesperson for the Eric Adams campaign said Mayor Adams has not met with Donald Trump. He is not dropping out of the race. But it would not be the first time Trump has used Adams to influence New York City politics. Of course, you'll remember, shortly after taking office, Trump's Department of Justice dropped corruption charges against the mayor in exchange for Trump-favored immigration policies and cooperation from the mayor for them. That move prompted the resignation of over 6 prosecutors in both Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office and Main Justice, including the acting U.S. Attorney for the Southern District. Joining me now to respond to all this news on a very busy day is the Democratic candidate for New York City Mayor, Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani. It's good to have you here. Nice to meet you in person for the first time.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
So what do you think about all this?
I think it's outrageous. And I think oftentimes in a race such as this, it's tempting to think of this solely in the question of how does this impact the race? But this is an affront to our city's democracy. This is an affront to the values that make so many of us proud to be Americans, that we could choose our own leaders, not that our leaders pick themselves or their friends. And we're seeing in this time when Donald Trump has taken snap from hungry New Yorkers, has passed legislation that would throw millions of New Yorkers off their health insurance, that we have Democrats in Andrew Cuomo and Eric Adams working with this administration to try and subvert the will of Democratic primary voters right here in New York City.
Is there a Democratic argument that there's some problem with this split field of 4 candidates that ends up with a person being the mayor of the city with 40% of the vote? Like, is there, because we have, we had the ranked choice voting in the primary, which I think is an important thing. You've now got this very weird situation where the next mayor might win 35-40% of the vote. And there's a question about what that would mean for that mayor's representative ability in the city.
I don't think any of those questions are motivating Donald Trump or
that's
as
fair.
they're thinking about the actions that they take. And I think that if this was just a question of am I going to face 3 candidates or 1 candidate, I wouldn't have concerns. I'm just as confident of beating Andrew Cuomo today as I was yesterday. My concern, however, is what...
Dude, oh my God. Can you imagine being a fucking Democrat and not immediately endorsing the shit out of a Zohran and just immediately putting all of your weight behind Zohran Mamdani? He just mogs on every single interview that he's ever been on. In response to having Trump ally all of these piece of shit fucking establishment Democrats, what does he say? I'm pulling something up. Hold up, it'll be worth the wait. This is what he has to say. Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power. He's down to fucking 1v10, 1v15, 1v50, 1v100, and he's like, look at what you need to mimic a fraction.
These so-called leaders are willing to give up in the name of securing power. That is why so many New Yorkers are turned off by our politics, because they see no relevance of their struggles in the conversations that are taking place.
There's reporting over the summer that there was a phone call between Donald Trump and Andrew Cuomo, previously undisclosed, reported by the Times August 6th, that Trump spoke about the race directly with Cuomo, an old associate and foil, according to 3 people briefed on the call who were not authorized to discuss it. Andrew Cuomo denies that they talked about the race. I mean, is your read on this situation that Trump is pulling for Cuomo?
Absolutely. And I think Trump is making that very clear, that this is his choice for mayor of New York City. It's Andrew Cuomo. And he's willing to use every single tool and tactic at his disposal to try and assist Andrew Cuomo in that same pursuit. And what we're seeing right now is to offer and consider positions for 2 candidates in this race to try and make this one-on-one. It shows just how threatened he is by what our administration would be, which is a fulfillment of the thing that he ran on but has since betrayed, which is a promise of a more affordable life for Americans.
For people that are watching this that consider themselves, Democrats are sort of in the big tent, right? And say they're in the big anti-Trump coalition, okay? And they've known Andrew Cuomo as a known quantity for a long time. And there's a feeling right now as they watch sort of Governor Pritzker in Illinois and Governor Newsom and, mayors in Chicago and D.C. and Baltimore deal with this sort of Godzilla-like figure, right, who's sort of wreaking havoc all over the places, that we need someone who's strong, who's experienced, who can go toe-to-toe, who maybe is kind of a tough guy. And this Zohran Mamdani seems like a nice guy. He seems charming. He's 33 years old. Like, do I think that's the guy that can go toe-to-toe with the threat that is Donald Trump, as opposed to Andrew Cuomo, who's really been around the block?
Let's take the example of California. When Donald Trump deployed the National Guard to California, one of the key ways in which they responded was working together with the mayor of LA, the governor of California, the attorney general, all coming together to file a lawsuit that a judge just yesterday found that deployment was illegal. Can you imagine Andrew Cuomo working with the Attorney General of this state, whose endorsement I am proud to have, Tish James, the Governor, Kathy Hochul, to work together to fight Donald Trump when he's spoken to Donald Trump more than he's spoken to Kathy Hochul over the course of this race? This is a man who believes in nothing other than his own power. And he spent so much of the primary saying he was best positioned to fight Donald Trump. He's now spending the general saying he's best positioned to work with Donald Trump. And New Yorkers want a mayor who is accountable to them, not to someone in the White House who is looking to rip up the very fabric of the city.
being New York mayor to me strikes me as probably the hardest job in America, in American politics after president. I mean, I really like, and it's basically your job for everyone to hate you, essentially. You know that, right? Like no one's gonna be like, hey, buddy. Like everyone's kind of pissed off all the time because it's New York City. It's New York City, right? Like life is tough. Like things are crowded, things are expensive. Like there's a lot of reasons for that. But then on top of that, right? So it's a hard enough job in normal times. But I mean, as we're watching him threatening to send in the National Guard to Illinois, no respect for like the law as it stands. Like you can't bound yourself within some confines of like, well, he won't do that because it's illegal. Like, how are you thinking about preparing for the job itself in terms of having this threat looming over it?
You have to prepare for the inevitability of Donald Trump to continue being Donald Trump. We cannot, as you've said, rely on any notion of the law or what is appropriate for how he will determine his course of actions. And I look at California as an example, such that we are ready here in New York City on January 1st with a plan of partnership across city and state government to be ready, whether it's for the deployment of the National Guard or it's for his attempt to pass legislation like the one he just did, which will take an axe to so much of what keeps so many New Yorkers afloat. And I think we've seen what New York City can gain if we have a mayor who is willing to collaborate with Donald Trump, which is not that much at all. We've had money directly taken out of bank accounts. We've had a 6-year-old public school student from Jackson Heights being deported. This is what we have when you want to work with Donald Trump. We've seen what it looks like to manage Donald Trump, which is what we see in Andrew Cuomo. We need someone who's actually willing to fight Donald Trump. And we've seen examples of that right here in New York with Kathy Hochul. We've seen examples of that in California. It's time to have that in City Hall.
You have not yet received an endorsement from Hakeem Jeffries, who, of course, is the highest-ranking member of Congress and a member of the New York delegation. I know you've met 4 times. Kathy Hochul has not officially endorsed yet, if I'm not mistaken. You would have to work with both those individuals quite closely. Are you confident that should you win, those are going to be solid relationships?
Absolutely. And so many of the conversations we've had have been about the importance of partnership, because New Yorkers have grown tired at the ways in which Albany and City Hall were at war when Andrew Cuomo was leading the state. They want leaders who understand that they have the same constituents in New York City and they have to serve those constituents. And one thing I've appreciated through all of these conversations is the question of how do we deliver affordability to the residents of the most expensive city in the United States of America?
One of the people who was in that sort of battle, standoff with Andrew Cuomo when he was governor, as mayor, was Bill de Blasio. We covered that. I watched it as a New Yorker. Today, Bill de Blasio endorsed you for mayor. So that's someone who's had some experience on both sides of that. Assemblyman Zoran Mamdani, the Democratic candidate for mayor in New York. Great to have you. Thanks a lot.
Sir. Thank you.
They want him to fail so bad and they can't get it. They can't fucking get it. God, dude. They're so pathetic. But the best part about all of this, Eric Adams quadrupling down.
I am in this race, and I'm the only one that can beat Donald. Andrew has had a career pushing black candidates out of races. You heard me say it over again. Carl McCall, Charlie King, David Patterson. This is his career that must stop with me.
Andrew Cuomo is a snake and a liar. I am in this race and I am the only one that can beat Mamdani. Imagine saying this when you're polling behind literally everyone else. I want him to say, I am the Joker to his Batman. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Jesus. And, oh, man. He's only staying in because he wasn't offered the Turkey ambassador. Yeah, he's like, Saudi Arabia, I don't want that. I want Turkey. God damn it. I want mediocre flights and mediocre hotel stays in Turkey. Don't offer me Saudi Arabia. God damn you. It's like you don't even know me. It's like you don't even know the corruption that I like. I just don't get it. Oh man. All right. I wanted to show all of you. Okay. This shit. On to, that's right, guys. It's shit Saturday time. That's right, guys. Don't sludge me. I know you guys love it. Don't fucking sludge me. Don't type sludges. I know you guys want to eat this shit up. Oh, dude, don't even show me this. Ugh. The Conor McGregor running for president in Ireland. Don't even fucking show me this, dude.
Citizens of Ireland, I'm here today outside the office of the Taoiseach and Taoiseach, where we are over 200 days into the formation of current government. In these times, this government has cost us our peace of mind, our security, our hope for the future.
Can I just say, this guy is really bold to run for president as an Irish person in Ireland. Because I feel like in the US, we have shooters with iron sights that did not hit the range and miss in the most pathetic fashion. I'm pretty sure Ireland doesn't fuck around like that. I don't think the Irish people are gonna have attempted assassinations. I think that they will have successful assassinations. Personally, if I was him, I would not run. I would be way more concerned for the well-being of my life.
And the general well-being of Irish citizens nationwide has decreased dramatically, whereby we have seen the homelessness of Irish children risen to levels unprecedented.
TLDR, who is this guy? Mega rapist, piece of shit, scumbag garbage, violent rapist, wife-beating, genocide supporter. Ireland's gonna love that one. Yeah. It's a former UFC fighter. Correct. All of those things are correct. He lost his lawsuit against I don't want to mistakenly claim it was someone that it wasn't. So I'll just pull it up. It was this case, I believe. MMA fighter Conor McGregor loses appeal in civil rape case. Lost his civil jury appeal against a finding that he sexually assaulted a woman. He was ordered to pay £206,000 in damages, plus costs to Nikita Hand, who accused him of raping her in a hotel in Dublin in 2018. And I'm not going to get into the details of the case because it's like very dark. But that guy is a fucking rapist.
Proving this government's refusal to abide by and respect our proclamation, and where all children of Ireland are to be cherished. Instead, our children abandoned. This incompetent failure of future generations has been accompanied with an intense influx of mass migration into an already severed system. Our tourism has sharply declined, while danger on our streets has risen. Ireland, as a master of martial combat, a solution-driven man, you will hear me speak on a problem but once, then it is action towards solution. I urge all our citizens to be of the same. Today, Ireland, I am outside these gates of these appointed officials, but as your head of state, you empower me to enter these buildings on your behalf. A president face to face with government officials with only one priority: to ensure that the country our founding fathers gave their life for is strictly adhered to on behalf of its citizens. Ireland, under my tenure, the will of the people will be heard. Ireland, under my tenure, We will return important articles of our Constitution prior, and thus again aligning with Padraig Pearse's proclamation, in that we declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood. Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Does Denims know his popularity in Ireland? Well, yeah, that's why I said, like, this shit is really brave. Doing this in Ireland, like, they will kill your ass, bro. Like, if there is a group of people, if there is a nationality that I don't fuck with, it's not like, sorry, I fuck with them heavy, but I don't fuck with them. Like, I'm gonna be in my boat, you know? Like, I'm good, dude. I know my place. All right, dude. I'm not trying to get killed. Okay. I don't fuck around and find out with Irish people. Okay. Because they will beat your ass and then they will kill you. Okay. Like, they don't fuck around. Which is why I'm saying this is crazy to do. When you know they don't like your ass.
Amen.
He's too narcissistic. I mean, he's also anti-Palestine and a rapist. So I don't. Not only is he not going to win, but he's also. Cat 10 Birch is being sued by. Okay, I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care about who's getting sued. I saw this briefly, and it was just like. Sorry, I came off a little aggressive there. My bad. My bad. I'm not going to divulge into a lawsuit that I haven't read. First of all. Second, I saw like 20 Ethan Klein stories. I didn't look at them, but I was like, oh my God. I'm like scrolling Reddit. See that shit. I'm just like, dude, all I need to see is the people cheering it on, and that tells me everything I need to know. I don't think you can say Connor won't win after Trump. Anything seems possible in the worst way. In the United States, yeah. Only 20? Oh, God. Okay. Can we,